Your urologist would be very proud of you. Good evening, everybody. It is 9:00 Eastern. What time is it on the West Coast? Like 6:00 on the West Coast. It's like 5 hours ahead, 5 or 6 hours ahead, Greenwich Mean Time. I can't do the math really fast, but anyway, it's pretty late. If you're listening to this in Europe, then you probably should be in bed. So anyway, welcome to another episode of Midnight Edge After Dark. I am, of course, your narrator supreme, Mr. Robb, Robot Shlomo. With me, as always, Mr. Tom Connors.
Good evening, good sir. How are you doing?
Oh, fantastic.
Right. And we've let him free. We set him free from the woods. Once again, with us, our good friend, Mr. Jake Bentley. How are you doing?
It's really weird to have use of my hands again, but really good all in all.
Just be happy we've been remembering to feed you.
Yes, you can thank everybody on that Indiegogo campaign who paid your ransom.
Yeah, but you guys were feeding me Arby's, and part of me would rather starve.
Hey, that's Arby's. Better than what he gets. So
Arby's,
Rob doesn't eat that
barely
good.
Food. Oh, okay. So we actually Comic-Con was just concluded yesterday. It's been kind of a slow news day, but we do have a couple stories we want to talk about. And Jake's been kind enough to join us, so let's get right into it.
Yeah, we got some Joker news.
Yeah, if I don't have another Windows 10 crash like I just did.
Yeah, we did. Unfortunately, that's what delayed us. So
we're
coming through a little shaky, but hopefully your internet catches up with you or whatever's causing issues over there. But yeah, tell us all about this Joker news or rumor that's going around.
Yeah, this is actually Deadline is reporting Robert De Niro is in talks for the Joaquin Phoenix Joker film from Todd Phillips. Exclusive. Well, not anymore. It ain't. Robert De Niro is in talks to join Joaquin Phoenix in Warner Brothers' Joker Origins movie starring Joaquin Phoenix. Oddly enough, Todd Phillips is directing and co-wrote the backstory tale of Batman's arch nemesis, which is described as a greedy character study, but also a broader cautionary tale of a man disregarded by society who becomes the ultimate supervillain. These talks have been going on for weeks, but a deal is near, and they finally have worked out the financials. As opposed to the iconic turn Jack Nicholson took in the Joker role in Tim Burton's Batman, De Niro will be bringing his iconic status to a different role. Sources said he'll play a talk show host, a formative figure in the development of the character who eventually becomes the Joker. But De Niro's character is not a villain, I'm told. So he's going to play Jerry Springer.
Are they going to do that one storyline? I think it was in the cartoons. I don't know if it came out of the comics or not, but they had it. I think it was in the cartoons where they had this. It was in. Isn't that from? No, that's from Dark Knight Returns. What am I thinking of? The comic. Tim Miller. He had the doctor and the guy interviewing him and stuff on TV, like they were trying to normalize the Joker.
Letterman. Yeah, it was on Letterman. It was supposed to be Letterman.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Letterman. So is that what they're going to try and do? Is kind of something like that, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe.
Personally, I'm hoping this is all smokescreen and he's just going to be playing Batman.
And then Jess Reed says the man who laughs. So maybe they did do it on the cartoon too. Maybe that's why I'm getting so confused. But yeah.
So anyway, co-scripted by Scott Silver, The Fighter, the untitled DC Universe film, will do battle against Paramount Sci-Fi. Pick Gemini Man and Fox's Amy Adams story of The Woman in the Window, which was also dated on October 4th, 2019. Emma Tillinger Koskov is producing. Okay, Village Roadshow, nobody cares. All right. Yeah, they're going through with this. They're serious about this. Oh, boy. Joker without Batman. What is the world coming to? I think it would be better if they did get Jerry Springer. So at least, the Joker would have to throw a chair at him. So
tell us,
Jack
Mr. Joker.
Joker, you are the father.
That's not Springer. That's
it's Murray. Yeah. I don't know. I'm out of outrage. I can't. It's getting harder and harder for me, phrasing, to build up any outrage or anger at this Joker movie.
Yeah.
And it's getting harder and harder for me to care. Phrasing. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to think anymore. I'm like, you're seriously going to go through with this? That's all I'm. Well, they're committed to the bit, as they say.
Yeah, I think this is a safe bet for them, because if Wonder Woman and Aquaman don't work out the way they want to, and their DCEU doesn't work out the way they want it to, this will be their way of launching into a whole new kind of separate universe type of thing, and they're just going to milk these characters for all they can. It's Warner Brothers. They don't care.
The Batverse?
Yeah, they love the Batverse. You know, we got Batwoman coming to the CW. Robin's a big part of the Titans, which he is, so that part okay. But still, the point being, frankly, I don't care. And De Niro, yeah, I like De Niro. It's a cool addition, and the only reason he's doing it is because Scorsese is producing, and frankly, that's all we know at this point that he has any, involvement in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're going to push that. They're going to squeeze that for every little bit they can, but I don't know. Like you said, I have no real interest in this, Jake.
I'm starting to think that "fuck Batman" line from the Teen Titans there was something behind that from some executive somewhere.
Yeah. I just keep, when you said Martin Scorsese, I just keep thinking of that King Missile song. I don't know if you remember that King Missile song, Detachable Penis, back in the 90s. But they also did another one called Martin Scorsese.
I remember Detachable Penis, and I think I've heard Martin Scorsese as well.
It's just the guy from King Missile just going, he makes the best films. He makes the best films ever. And I'm like, okay, well.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, okay. I always thought they were more of a comedy act, King Missile, than anything. But there people actually took them seriously. So, but that's another topic. But it just seems looks like they're banking on just name recognition for this. Scorsese, Joaquin Phoenix, and De Niro. Fuck it. If it sucks, people will go see it anyway because it's got star power behind it.
Well, I mean, whatever happened to what happened to Hollywood being ashamed of their mistakes? Like we still don't have a Green Lantern movie, a new one, because they're like, oh shit, we fucked up really hard. Like
Jeff Johns is supposedly making one. I don't know if you've heard that, but even Tom Cruise is in talks.
But I mean, at least they've had the decency to give us time because the last one sucked.
No, yeah, this is just a real, I don't know.
And Joel Schumacher he hasn't stopped apologizing for Batman and Robin.
I think he gets paid to apologize for it now. At this point, he's apologized so much. But no, it's seriously. I mean, yeah, they must be spending all their money on the star power because they don't have to spend all the money on the CGI and stuff because it's just Joker.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be some big Avengers, Justice League type superhero movie.
No.
And that's another plus for them is it's going to be cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever money they save on effects, they put into casting. So, but it seems like Jake's onto something. In Hollywood, you don't apologize anymore. You be like, what? This movie sucks. No. You suck. You just don't get it. You don't get it. You don't understand what we're trying to do here.
Well, you want to know why that is?
You're toxic.
You're
toxic.
Why that
is?
Toxic
because
fan.
the generation that's making movies and behind all this shit now is the blue ribbon generation. The participation ribbon generation.
Oh, yeah. Participation trophy, yeah.
The ones who were told that it doesn't matter, you're special, everything you do is great, you don't suck no matter what. You know?
The kids go play soccer and it's just like in 2.5 Men, they would go play soccer. I'm like, oh, we don't keep score. I'm like, yeah, but how do you tell if the kids win or not? I mean, oh, no, we do. That's not important. Everybody participates. Everybody has fun. And it wasn't the point. The whole thing was that if you lose, you want to not lose again. And then you work harder, and then and you see the kid out there. Don't be like Jimmy, So, I mean, geez, yeah, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you suck or not. I mean, everybody gets a trophy. So
pretty much, and that was one thing. I think I brought this up before, and it didn't really make it into the final cut of the interview too much, so it is relevant though. And Tommy McLaughlin brought up and I think it's in the interview, but he's like he said, you don't get a chance to fail anymore like you used to. And not only that, everything is like, it's a good point because they turn around and twist it on the fans. It's the fans' fault they didn't like it. Oh, it's your fault you didn't like it. It's your fault it sucked, not ours.
Star Trek Discovery, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Same shit. Ghostbusters, all of it. They turn around and blame it on the fans. If it's, instead of taking responsibility for it and saying, yeah, we pulled a boner, sorry, which is why I give Batman and Robin a pass, because Joel Schumacher flat out said it, like you brought up. Sorry, I made a fucked up movie on the wrong type of, motivations, and the Warner Brothers was going to make it one way or another, and they were all worried about the toys and this, that, and the other. He admits it.
A friend of mine who was in the military, and I doubt he's listening out there, but hey, Jimmy, what's up? He used to say that when the military would fuck up, they would have press conference, whatever. Mistakes were made, certain actions were taken, didn't have the outcome that we would like to have, but we are going to learn from those mistakes, and we're going to hold those accountable. We're going to hold those accountable to attest for those mistakes, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to make sure this type of thing doesn't happen again. I mean, that's all you need to say. Mistakes were made. You don't have to blame anybody. Mistakes were made.
Right.
We didn't have the outcome we thought it was going to happen.
Or at least you can just say, well, we tried something different and it didn't work out.
Yeah,
then you can at least give somebody credit for that much.
Yeah,
sure. Oh no, I was just agreeing.
Okay, Jake's very agreeable. So, well, anyway,
I am when you give me food.
Again, thank our audience for reminding us that we had you tied up in the woods in the first place.
Yes. God. So okay. So anyway,
he eats better than you do, Rob, and he still complains.
Yeah. Except like when we give him chili, because then.
But that's for our enjoyment and.
Yeah. We made sure we cut a hole in the bottom of the chair so that we and then when nature takes its course, we
and then we just hose him down.
Yeah. Yeah. Random game user said, "I'll take nothing. I'll take saying nothing in this era. Nothing is better than attacking fans." Yeah.
Right. Or Go ahead. Sorry, Jake.
No,
that was Rob.
Oh, was it Rob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, but I don't have much more to say about this.
Well, no, but it is true. It is true. It's getting to the point where it's at a fever pitch now, and the studios are going to learn. You can't keep blaming the fans for your mistakes.
Yeah. Who was it that said the Star Wars doesn't belong to you? You're not customers. You're an audience. I'm like, no, they are customers. These are your customers. It's the same idea. You are buying a product. I mean, if you want to treat film as product, then we are your customers. I'm like, and you keep shitting on us, eventually we're gonna get sick of it.
No, it's like we keep saying the McDonaldization of films, and it is. It's like we expect a product to be up to certain standards, and if it's not, we're gonna come up and complain about it.
And we're gonna go
as simple as that.
And it's not like we don't have other choices. I mean,
exactly.
Marvel. I mean, plenty of streaming choices. We can stay home and play video games. I mean, jeez, that was no, but think about that. That was something that didn't exist in the 70s when Star Wars was first around. I mean, that's a major thing. Screw it. I don't have to. I don't have to go see your movie.
Yeah. Speaking of the 70s, though,
I feel like in 70s again. There's Miller. Okay.
There's a property from the 70s that somebody's trying to bring back.
Yes, that's very near and dear to my heart.
And I'm a big fan, too, and I don't know if Jake is, but I'm sure he's probably not real keen to the idea, but might as well just tell us about it, Rob.
Yes. It had to happen. There is a remake of Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon in the works. And David Leitch from Deadpool 2, he's in talks to direct. Exclusive from Deadline. Not anymore, it ain't. Hot off Deadpool 2, David Leitch is in early talks to direct Enter the Dragon, the remake of the 1973 martial arts classic that cemented Bruce Lee's iconic status. The original was a global hit out of Hong Kong, but its release was marked by the tragedy as it came right after Lee's death. The 45th anniversary of his death on July 20th, 1973 was last Friday. Now they will set a writer. In Enter the Dragon, Shaolin martial artist is pressed to enter karate tournament on the island owned by the secretive Han, who is suspected of using the gathering as a way to smuggle drugs around the world. The protagonist has his own motivation. Motivation. Revenge. He learns that his sister fought for her life.
Who the fuck wrote it? Popeye?
Motivation. Fought for her life, ultimately killed on herself on Han's Island. That is not true. That is incorrect. You've got your fucking facts wrong. The men were coming over to Hong Kong and they were pushing people around and bullying and harassing people, and she killed herself. Yeah, she killed herself in a warehouse, and when she was cornered by Han's men. That's not true. Now, okay, so do your fucking research, Deadline. Okay. John Saxon and martial artists Jim Kelly, Bob Wall, and Bolo Yang lent validity to the fight scenes, and Kin Shi made a formidable villain in Han, adding some of the sweep that existed in the global thriller franchise like 007. The film expanded the template for martial arts movies of the period, and it was a shame Lee wasn't around to embrace it and the groundbreaking strides he made for actors of Asian descent and continue a movie career that already bloomed in Hong Kong but was only just getting started in Hollywood. As it was, okay, karate schools, blah, 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 blah. Warner Brothers is trying to figure, okay. Warner Brothers has been trying to figure out a way to recapture the magic of Robert Klaus's directed film for years, with filmmakers like Spike Lee and Brett Ratner developing versions of the Golden Harvest release. Leitch is an intriguing choice, aside from being, as the opening credits boast in Deadpool 2, one of the guys who killed John Wick's dog. The John Wick co-director helmed Charlize Theron, actioner Atomic Blonde, and was second unit director on such films as Jurassic World and Captain America: Civil War. Oh, okay. The WME rep Leitch is also a former stuntman, was action unit director who stands for unit requirement, blah, blah, blah. Okay, nobody cares. Okay. You've gone too far, Warner Brothers. You've gone too far. You've gone too fucking far with this one. Okay, there's no excuse. You cannot say that you cannot improve upon the original. It is a classic. You can't even say, oh, we're bringing more diversity to the cast. It starred two fucking white guys. There's only two white guys in the entire fucking cast, okay? So shut your dick holes.
I said, wasn't that? No, wait. Yeah. Go ahead.
Shut your fucking dick holes on this one. You cannot, if you just re-release the original, all right? That's all. I mean, there's no way you can. Besides, it was already remade. It was called Balls of Fury with Christopher Walken.
This is one of those things you shouldn't touch because Bruce Lee is a legend, and you're never gonna find anybody to replace him. Period. I don't give a shit. It just ain't gonna happen.
Mystic Knight says, who will be the lead? Ronda Rousey? I wouldn't put it past him. I would not put it past him.
Well, there's only one way this can work, and how is that, Jake?
If they clone Bruce Lee, or if they cloned him like 20 years ago.
That wasn't the answer I was looking for.
Or Peter Dinklage in blackface on his
That was the answer I was looking for. No, that's the only way I'd watch this. I'm not kidding. There's no other way you're going to get me to watch this. It's just not going to happen.
I like the Balls of Fury road that Rob bring up. Let's put Christopher Walken in this movie, too. Yeah. Listen, you must be like water. Water can flow, but it can crash.
I'm telling you, I have a thing for ping pong.
Ping pong, or as the Chinese call it, ping pong.
Oh, shit. This is why we let him out of the cabin.
You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put it into a glass, it becomes the glass. Water can flow, or it can crash.
Oh, shit. This is why we let him out of the cabin. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. Water can flow, or it can crash.
Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Water can flow, or it can crash. Wa
But
Thank you, NJDSS4.
Yeah. But like I said, there's no way. I mean, there's no need to remake this. There is no need to remake. It has, and I really do hope the spirit of Bruce Lee comes back, and just karate chops everybody and gives everybody a nunchucks upside the head. I really do. And speaking of nunchucks, I want people to go out and find the video of Bruce Lee. I can't remember what's. I think it was from. I think it might have been. I think it might have been Fists of Fury, but I'm not sure. But he's got the nunchucks, and somebody superimposed lightsabers on it with Premiere After Effects.
That's not Enter the Dragon. That's Fists of Fury.
Yeah, I think it's Fists of Fury.
I think,
but there's a number of different ones.
It's like it doesn't matter.
There's a number of different ones, but there's one. All you have to do is look up Bruce Lee lightsaber nunchucks, and it is incredible. I'm like Ryan Johnson. Fuck you. This is what you should have done.
Well, there's a reason why people haven't remade Elvis movies.
Yeah. Oh, why haven't they remade Elvis?
Because they were about Elvis. The Bruce Lee movies were about Bruce Lee. You know,
bake. Yeah. But like I said, it's this. Like there are certain movies that should not be remade, and this is one of them.
Yeah, this is right next to Citizen Kane. Right in that genre, like however you want to put it, of movies that just should not be touched.
Yeah.
Now, is there in all seriousness, is there anybody who you would accept as the star of this movie?
No.
Where if they announce it, you'd be like, all right, this wouldn't be too bad.
Dolph Lundgren. No, that's serious. There's no. What can you do? There's nobody who lives up. Maybe Jet Li in his heyday. But even no, it's just not the same. Not nobody. And Jackie Chan is from the same era, so that's kind of just weird.
I don't know if he's done anything lately, but I think Tony Jaa would probably be
I'd hate for it to be in anybody's shoes who would have to try and take that on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just some impossible shit to live up to.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said Idris Elba. I'm like, I wouldn't put him past it. Just trying to cast Idris Elba. Oh yeah. I don't know.
Was that Fist of Fury that had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in it too, or was that wasn't?
No, that was Game of Death.
That was Game of Death. See, I've seen Enter the Dragon quite a few times, but I've seen the other ones various times on like cable and shit growing up. But
Game of Death, they started filming before his death, and it actually had an entirely different plot, and it was re-released after they filmed a lot of scenes with a stand-in. There's actually about 35 minutes of the original footage of Game of Death, and you can find it on YouTube. It's easy to find, but it's completely different. He goes up each floor of a pagoda, and the guard on each floor. He was actually accompanied by two different guys with him. Yeah, yeah. Game of Death. Yeah, the one where they shemp him. Yeah, that's right, Tyler Bioshock. Yeah. Oh boy, but it's who was the kid? Jason, was it Jason Scott Lee who was in the movie Dragon, the Bruce Lee story?
Yes. Yeah, that was him.
Yeah. I mean, he might be okay.
He's way old now. Yeah, I was going to say
20 years ago.
Now.
But
and he
now,
was okay as playing him, but that's just it.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just getting somebody who looks and sounds like Bruce Lee, which at the point where you're like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
That would be like going out and remaking Ghostbusters and just getting guys who looked like Bill Murray and sounded like, Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis and Ernie Hudson. It'd just be pointless. It's just like, okay, you're really not going to any extent to try anything new. You're just trying to recapture what it was before. And that's all they're banking on here is knowing that you know the original and knowing Bruce Lee and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Unless they're actually going to take it in a totally different direction, change the name and stuff like that, that's a little different story. Because there has been situations where they've done, slight variations on a story from before that was, not a direct remake. That I don't have an issue with. Because, okay, random. The only example I can think of offhand is like Four Brothers. With Mark Wahlberg and who else was in that? I don't know. I can't remember anyway. But if you know that movie, it's basically a remake of Sons of Katie Elder, but it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It takes the same elements, but it's obviously not a Western. It's obviously not the exact same storyline, but it's very similar. But anyway, I'm sure people out there get what I'm saying. I'm gonna quit rambling now.
And like I said, I wouldn't doubt they try to put a female lead. I really wouldn't doubt they try to put a female lead into the role, and it's like I said, and
unfortunately, that's the only way you can try something different and not have them being directly, everybody. She can't be no Bruce Lee. Who's going to say that?
Yeah, yeah. And at that point, you might as well just call it something different. You might just call it something else. I mean, but this is gonna suck McNuggets. It really is. It really is. Darth X Raven says some remakes are okay, like the 80s Scarface. It's a remake of 40s gangster flick. Yeah, but it was different enough that it became its own thing. That's the thing.
Right. That's a good example. Also, like The Fly too, or whatever, to where they take the idea, the concept, and they go a completely different direction with it, and make it more relevant to the time, and say something more about the time, to where, basically The Fly, the original Fly, was like a generic sci-fi movie. The original Scarface was like almost, well, I think it was a biopic almost, but it was a generic gangster movie for the most part. The Fly of the 80s took on the whole AIDS epidemic. Scarface took on, the immigration and the drug, craze that was happening at the time with cocaine and shit.
Yeah, The Incredible Shrinking Woman, too. So with Lily Tomlin, no, I mean, it was a comment on. It was actually, it's a comedy, but it was a commentary on consumerism, and how consumerism is not inherently bad, but I mean,
I just giggled because Tom McLaughlin worked on that, but yeah.
Oh really? Oh
yeah,
really?
He played a lot of the toys and stuff, I guess.
Oh wow. Yeah, but yeah. Pardon me. This is a cough. I'm choking on my own spit. Okay, but anyway, we digress. John Carpenter's The Thing was another one that was actually another good remake. There are good examples of good remakes, but at the same time, John Carpenter's nobody really remembers the original thing as really, it's an iconic kind of thing, but.
Well, King Kong is another good example. Not a lot of people bring up the 76 version because it hasn't aged well. But at that time, they really did a good job with updating that idea and bringing it into the now, and how could you miss this? And, the whole oil aspect of it was, very big deal at the time. And they changed the main female lead's character and the male lead's character to, be a little bit more like the time, but they didn't change King Kong at all. That portion of the story didn't change. How
are you going to change a 50
Well, no, I mean the whole idea, the basic outline of the story. They go to an island, find an ape, bring him back to New York, and he, spoilers, climbs a tall building and gets killed. You know what I mean? You make
the King Kong Jessica Lange. Yeah, thank you, Captain April. Jessica Lange. You don't need an excuse for that. You make the King Kong gender confused or in transition.
Well, she yells at him for being a male chauvinist ape.
Yes.
King Kong, not binary.
She actually yells, "Ain't me!" I'm like, giggity.
See, a lot of people hate the 70s remake. And don't get me wrong, yes, Tyler, the 2005 remake is better, but I do give the 70s remake credit, and I don't think it gets enough credit. Yeah. Especially at the time for what they did and how big it was. And it was like, at that point, it'd been 30, 40 years since King Kong had come out, and they didn't have video. King Kong wasn't on TV all the time because the rights were wrapped up because of RKO and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't in the versions that you did see, if you did get to see it on TV, were chopped to shit.
Mm-hmm. My big regret is not going on the King Kong ride at Universal. I don't know if anybody out there has been on the King. My brother went on the King Kong ride at Universal. He said it was awesome. So hey, if Evangelion 007 King Kong is a white albino gorilla, hey, why do you assume that King Kong has to be white? Okay, what? I mean, what? He's just an ape, man. There's no gender
I thought
politics.
Rampage already did whitewash King Kong.
I'm kind of upset that Evangelion is assuming that all albinos are white.
Peter Dinklage in blackface. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, I will not abide by your gender, by your identity politics. Well, it was like Rachel Dolezal. Was that lady? I mean, I wrote it. Did you read that one, Jake? That episode of FU I wrote with Rachel with the about the girl who identified as black.
Oh, Rachel Dolezal or
Dolezal, yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been so long since I've read the FU episodes. Probably about 2 years.
I
did.
We got to get around to that. But I thought that was like a pretty good a thing. It was like, you know, the whole like I said, the whole identity politics is tiresome. But that's neither here nor there. But like I said, no Enter the Dragon remake, please. No, none. That's it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, you can use the concept and do something different, maybe turn it into like an action movie with something else. But yeah, don't try and bank on that. Yeah,
Balls of Fury.
Balls of Fury. Balls of Fury.
Whatever happened to just completely ripping off concepts and presenting them new ideas?
There you go. Because then you don't have to pay. That's because in Hollywood, then you wouldn't recognize the title. That's the whole thing. Why do you think we're getting a Child's Play remake? With at this point, as far as we know, not a real quote unquote Chucky, while they still have a Child's Play series that's going to happen around the same time. So,
and the whole thing about this is, and I don't hear him say this is not for you, this is not for you. Then why are you going to use the same title? You're banking on a certain amount of nostalgia just from the title alone. You're counting on people saying, "Hey, I know that, I recognize that title. I wonder what this is about." So, Eric Draven, England made a Queen Kong movie. Yeah, it's called Adele. So, yeah. Oh boy, but I don't have much more to say about this. But it is like I said, Hollywood,
right.
get your act together.
Yeah. Oh, so it was kind of a slow news day since San Diego Comic-Con was over the weekend, and we covered a lot of that already. So why don't you guys get some questions ready for us? We got a little time here left. I don't know how much longer we're going to keep Jake out of the woods, but we got to put him back sometime.
Well, the Unabomber is still in prison, so he doesn't have a roommate yet. So
we'll think about getting him a roommate. Maybe we'll get him a monkey.
That'd be kind of cool.
Mr. Jingles.
They just fling poo back and forth at each other.
At least you'd have somebody to talk to,
Yeah, Gridania says he's out. I shouldn't say. Gridania says they're outraged if they actually remake Enter the Dragon. Yeah, I will be too. I may actively be picketing the movie theater, the studio.
Last question, drinking game. Thank you, Anthony Altieri. Oh shit!
Don't tempt me. I'll have you in AA by the end of the evening.
Yeah, he'll do it on purpose then.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Did you ever see How I Met Your Mother when they had the drinking game? But
I'm interviewing Paul Feig tomorrow for Following the Nerd. Anything you want me to pass on? Oh, are you now?
Ask him what Joel McHale smells like.
I bet Joe. Not that I've ever wondered, but there's always but there's this really the most expensive like aftershave in the world is called Florist. One of them is called Florist, and it's sold in England. I would bet even money Joe McHale uses that. I think you can only get it in England. I think.
All right, we got
Ian Fleming used to use it, so that's how exclusive it is.
So let's think here for reals, though. Boy, let us think on that a little bit.
Edward Wood opinions on the next series of STD. It is going to be a vile abomination.
Yeah, we talked about that the last couple shows, but yeah, it looks pretty shitty.
Okay, trailers from SDCC. Which trailer was your favorite? I did like the Shazam trailer, even though it's just DC Comics presents Big.
You know, I saw the suit. I hated it. I watched the trailer. I started thinking this was decent up until he turns into Shazam, because the kid was like oddly mature, but then when he turns into Shazam, he like regresses maturity, and it's like I'd rather see a movie with the kid.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. I didn't notice that. Yeah, the kid's like mature. Then it's just like he turns into like a regular goofy kid. Yeah.
My favorite one is kind of a tie between Glass and Godzilla, I guess. That'd be my favorite ones. Yeah.
Whoa, say he's got to go. Go, Godzilla.
You know, my favorite trailer so far has actually been for the mid-season for Vikings.
Hey. The Orville trailer was really good, too.
Yeah, Tyler BioShock. I hate to bring it up, but what are apparently thoughts on what happened today? Created Rick and Morty. Do we need to worry about him getting fired? Like Gunn, we really weren't going to talk about it, but Mundane Matt actually has a good video about it. The series he did was for a thing out in LA called Channel 101, and everybody was just being over the top, and again, that's just one of the things that I don't want to say it came back to bite him, but he was trying to be as over the top as everybody was being. And I think we need to look at it in context.
I think they figured this out, Rob. They're coming to get us for Jake.
They're coming to take me away. They're coming to take me away. Oh,
shit. I'm not even going to comment on that one right now, because I'm just tired of commenting on that kind of stuff. Will we be boycotting Alita Battle Angel? Why would we be... I haven't seen the trailer or nothing yet. What's going on with that? Gridania? Sounds kind
I don't even know what that is.
It's an anime style... I think it may be based on an anime. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember now. But James Cameron's producing it. Robert Rodriguez directed it. I'm trying to remember... Do you remember anything about it, Rob?
Dead
not
puppies
really. Aren't much fun, Edward Wood.
Yeah. They
don't come when you call.
No. Who was the Oddenensel? That was the guy's name. Sly Marlboro. Why do these guys think? I don't want to touch that. Matt Vermillion, did anyone see the Japanese Godzilla movie that came out a few months ago? How was it? No, I haven't seen it.
Well, it was actually like a year ago. Shin Godzilla, or did they have a new one that I don't know about? Because as far as I know, Shin Godzilla was the last one. It was all right. It was pretty good. It's different than the other Godzilla movies, though, but it's more of a comment on the Chinese government in a lot of ways, as opposed to how the original Godzilla movies were more of a comment on the atomic bomb and the effects. So, yeah.
Eon001 brought something up that I just want to touch on really quickly. It's I hope I never become famous, a famous public figure. I couldn't be bothered to go through my Twitter history. Here's what you do. You make a new Twitter. You keep that old one, make it look like a fake account, and say whatever shit you want.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I said the big. I got into a brouhaha with some feminists about Ms. Marvel. They were saying if you're reading it because you think Carol Danvers looks sexy and you're reading the wrong book. I'm like, hey, I'm a man. What can I tell you? I like beautiful women. What can I say?
How dare you?
Yes, how dare me? How dare me? I should feel I am just going into a guilt spiral, aren't I?
How dare you be a straight white male? That's a terrible, terrible thing. Or
don't you know? Yeah, don't you know? This is a new age. We're all. I can't even.
Or as Charles Barkley would say, that's terrible.
Oh, it's terrible.
That's terrible.
We live in a post-joke society. Anything that makes me uncomfortable should be illegal. I identify as a basketball. Okay. Okay, guys, more questions here. More questions.
Yeah, Prince Caspian said the Godzilla anime movie was a bit of a letdown. I heard that. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I don't have Netflix right now.
Sly Marbo says Jason Momoa would have been the perfect Lobo. Too bad he's already Aquaman.
Yeah, we've said that.
We said that before.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a good Namor too.
Yeah.
I'd honestly cast Jason Momoa as a few things.
Jake cast him as Santa Claus.
Badass. Sons of Aquamanarchy coming this December to theaters near you.
They sound like the guy from the Duluth Trading Company underwear ads.
Isn't that
Duluth Trading Company?
That's not what's his face, is it? Sam Elliott?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, I'm thinking of a different one than he does.
There's a Sam Elliott quality to that voice.
But no, he does. Yeah, Sam Elliott is doing something now. I can't remember what. Anyway, I sound like
can people just stop with the Sam Elliott tweets, really, and please? Because I got a feeling it's just getting cliche.
Which one?
All of them.
But Sam Elliott's the man.
Yeah, I mean, you're a special kind of stupid. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Those kind of ones, yeah.
Yeah, because that doesn't tell you anything. It just means you're just retweeting. Yeah, you're just retweeting something that you think just without context to it, you know. So, yeah. Okay. Dead School. Will Black Adam be in Shazam? Mark Strong is the bad guy in Shazam.
I bet we'll get a cameo by The Rock though as Black Adam. I bet probably an end scene, something like that, because he's teased it. But no, we have nothing to confirm or deny that. So
he's been signed on as Black Adam for like the last
10 years.
20 years.
Yeah. But he did recently tweet something about it, so I have a feeling we'll see him.
Yeah. Killing O'Rourke.
I guess according to The Rock, he did come out and say we won't see Black Adam in the Shazam. So okay.
Oh,
I know he had teased something about Shazam or Black Adam not too long ago, but I guess that's one I haven't seen yet. So thank you, Prince Caspian, to bring us up to date.
Assassin, why shouldn't everybody be held accountable for their garbage comments on social media? If Disney had treated Roseanne and Gunn differently, they'd be hypocrites.
Yes and no, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, we've already talked about that.
I don't want to get into that.
I don't want to. That's nothing.
All I'm going to say is James Gunn didn't blame it on ambient.
I had another question here somewhere. Kellen O'Rourke, any advice on how to get an acting agent in film? Get headshots done.
Get a reel done if you can.
Yeah.
Find somebody who knows an agent. That's generally the best way to do it.
Ask people who act. Ask people who are in the business. Ask them for recommended to be trusted. The whole thing is you got to be able to trust them.
Yeah. $5 from Just Read. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Best and worst trailers from San Diego Comic-Con from all three of you. Best would be Glass and Godzilla, which I said already, and the worst had to be Aquaman and Star Trek.
Yeah, same.
Jake?
Well, my best one was the Vikings mid-season.
Yeah, you said that, but yeah.
Worst one, I don't know if it was the worst one, and I did bring this up. I think I was really the most disappointed by Shazam, just because, like I said, halfway through I was on board, and then just a whole bunch of nope.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Whole bunch of nope. Notice Jaimin was not in the trailer. I don't think he has shot anything yet. No, I didn't notice Jaimin Hansen was in the trailer. Has there been any move? Kimbap Tempura, has there been any movement on the New Gods? No, not since March. It's not since they announced Ava DuVernay.
Maybe they'll, after that the box office failure of whatever the hell
Aquaman,
that movie. No, that other movie that she did, the Oprah
Wrinkle
one.
in Time.
Wrinkle in Time. If maybe DC got cold feet.
Jake, you didn't see Wrinkle in Time, did you?
No.
No. Join the club. Nobody did. That was the problem. Who thought this was going to be a good idea? Oh, it's going to be a game changer. You should go. I actually read something from I think it was IndieWire. You should go see it, even though it's not very good. Then you're missing the entire fucking point. You go see a movie. You don't go. You accuse fanboys of going to movies that aren't very good. Then you turn around and say, "Oh, you should go see this because it's important that it succeeds, regardless if it's good." No, that's not the point. Okay, I don't want to say anymore. I'm getting riled up about this. Oliver Smith, do you think you guys will ever have someone from the cartoon community to be in your podcast? Who are the cartoon community? Just cartoons in general, like Justin Roiland or Matt Groening. I mean, or is that another podcast? I mean, I'm showing my ignorance here. Tom?
I'm not sure if you read the question right, because that's not the way I read it before. Let me go back up.
Yeah.
Who asked it? Oliver, right? Yeah. Do you guys ever think you'll ever have someone from the cartoon community? Oh, I guess you did ask a question. I said, yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know. We have to be able to get in touch with people. We're still at that lower level where we really, I mean, for me to get the interviews we have and Andre to get the interviews we have to dig around and try to get in contact with people. But yeah, if anybody's ever willing to, we'd surely love to have anybody from anywhere from you name it. I'm sure there's tons of cartoons and animated people, old and new, that we'd love to have on the show.
Yeah. Let me see. There was another one good here. Do you guys like Splice? I
haven't seen it, but I'm aware of it.
They meant to say Split. They corrected themselves afterwards.
Oh, Split.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked Split.
I haven't seen it now.
I wouldn't have liked Split so much if it wasn't a surprise sequel to Unbreakable, though. Because otherwise it would have just come off as one of those generic guys keep women in a basement movie.
Whoever had the question about Daredevil season 3, please repost it, because I can't find it right now.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah.
Jess Reed wants to know our opinion on Godzilla. Me got the same feeling I did with Jurassic World 2 and was not worth my time. If you mean the new trailer, I'm really amped to see the new film compared to the 2014 one. The 2014 one was good. I hope this one's better. Kellen
O'Rourke, are you looking forward to Iron Fist season 2? No, actually I got to see season 1.
I watched it. It was okay, but I felt like I was watching Arrow all over again. I've said that about 100 times, though.
Okay, here it is. Kellen O'Rourke, what do you guys want to see in Daredevil season 3? Brief thought on the first 2 seasons. I want to see the Born Again storyline.
I still have to finish watching the second season yet, I think. Or did I? No, I've seen the second season. I'm thinking of the Defenders. I have to finish watching yet, but...
Yeah, I want to see the Born Again storyline. Season 1 was fantastic. Loved it. Some of the best television I've ever seen. Season 2, not as good, but still good.
Jake?
Yeah, I absolutely loved. I absolutely loved season 1. I thought it was fantastic. I think season 2 suffered from what I like to call Netflix syndrome, where there are a few really good episodes in the beginning, a few really good episodes in the end, and then the middle is just dragging on and existing to get you from point A to point B. It's like they wrote like a 7-episode arc but needed 11 episodes. As for what I'd like to see in season 3, I'm not familiar with the name of the arc. I'm not even sure if this is the same one as what Rob was going on, but I loved the comic where Kingpin just starts destroying Murdoch's life.
That's Born Again.
Okay, it is. Yeah. All right, then. Yeah, that's the one.
There's a great panel from Born Again where there's a scene where Kingpin has somebody in the Daredevil costume trying to destroy whatever's left of his reputation, and Matt Murdock lays a beat down, and Karen Page is strung out on she's on heroin. She's just trying to get her next fix. And there's this great panel of the two and she's desperately hanging on to Matt Murdock, and he has his arms around her, and it's just this great moment. I'm like, see, that's a hero. No superpowers, no, saving, just save. Even if you save one person, that's what a hero is all. That's what being a hero is all about. So, but it's just like it's easy to find panel. I mean, but it just encapsulates everything I love about Daredevil, that story arc. And there's that great part where that I don't want to give away too much, but he's in a convent and the nuns are all gathered around him, and one of them is saying, "No, don't take him, please." And like I said, it's just some of the most stirring, most involved, most deepest, and some of the greatest storytelling I've ever read. It's incredible. It really is incredible. If you get a chance, go out. It's in trade paperback. Daredevil Born Again. It's phenomenal. Frank Miller's better than The Dark Knight. Absolutely better than The Dark Knight. Frank Miller's best work. So anyway, that's all I've got to say about that. How about Echo and Daredevil? Yeah, Echo would be cool. Bullseye would be cool. Doing Bullseye right would be cool. Bullseye was already in. Bullseye was in it. He was one of the sharpshooters in season 1.
Was he? I don't remember that.
I don't either.
There was one of the sharpshooters actually had the Ace of Spades, and people say that's Bullseye. I think that was Bullseye.
Oh, I actually liked Colin Farrell's Bullseye. I'll admit it. I don't give a fuck. I thought it was really cool.
I didn't like that goofy costume though. That was lame.
In the movie?
And yeah.
He didn't really have a costume. He just had
the long leather jacket. Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. What are you gonna do? You seen his costume in the comic?
Yeah. Well,
he did him a fucking favor.
There'd be a way to. There's a way to do it.
I just loved how he handled the character. I thought
the black turtleneck. Yeah.
I thought it was great. I don't know.
Carved up forehead.
The rest of the movie, not so much, but I thought they did okay with Colin Farrell there. But
yeah.
The R-rated version of the Daredevil movie is better, though.
Yeah. I've seen it. Yeah. I actually bought the 27 by 40 poster. From the Ben Affleck Daredevil post, just because it's a cool visual. Do you think Titan will be okay or cringe fest? Cringe fest. I vote cringe fest.
Yeah, cringe fest.
Cringe fest.
I said this on the last one I was on, where it's, this is for their online streaming service. So it doesn't have to be good. For the show to succeed, it merely has to exist to provide content, and I think that's what we're going to get.
Yeah. Kellen O'Rourke says that was an homage, Rob. That actually wasn't Bullseye. Yeah, but it's nice for the think it is. But okay, yeah, it was an homage to him. All right. Yeah, you're right. It just has to exist. They just need content. That's all they need right now. That's all they need. And just all right, put it together, slap Titans on it, and put it on. All right, some more questions, guys. Let's go. Closing. Hey, 100 people watching in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Well, it's nice to just talk to myself here.
Not bad. Well, I'm trying not to talk over Jake, because it seems like we never let him talk too much, but I think he's a little shell-shocked still. It's like, speak, monkey, speak. You're not supposed to shut up here when we yell and throw shit at you in the woods. That's different.
I'm pretty sure Sasquatch is here. That's why I'm not too loud.
Does he have any Jack Link's beef jerky with him?
Yeah, I have no jerky to appease him with.
Start singing the song by Tenacious D, and maybe that'll help.
Which one?
Well, the Sasquatch song where he's singing about him being his friend and all that stuff. I think they used it in the movie, but they did a version on... They've done a couple different versions, yeah. But
Paul Sharp wants to know: Do you think they will give us a solid Nightwing film? Hard to say.
I know that's one that's been bantied about, but I doubt it anytime soon. But then again, it's a Bat family.
Yeah,
I think to do a decent Nightwing movie or a decent Robin movie, they have to get beyond what I like to call the bat boner. He's not Batman. It exists in the Batman universe, but that's about as far as the comparisons between those two characters go. Like Dick Grayson couldn't be any more different than Batman. He's more, for lack of a better word, chipper. You can't do a dark, Dick Grayson movie.
Tyler Bioshock, what is everyone's thoughts on The Simpsons? If you like it, favorite episode? I love The Simpsons.
I love The Simpsons too. Yeah. Oh, one of my favorite episodes. Those.
So many to choose from.
I'm thinking of that. You had one there.
I like the one where Apu's. I do like the one where Apu is supposed to get married to Manjula, and they're trying to get him out of it. The one where Grandpa has the tontine, the fighting hellfish. There's a lot of them. The one from season 1 where Krusty's framed by Sideshow Bob. That was a good one.
Jake, you were gonna say one there.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Simpsons one is great, fantastic. Even if it's kind of gone down in quality the last few years, it's earned the right. I remember and recall more moments from The Simpsons, but if I'm gonna pick out an episode, I love the one where Homer pays a butt ton of money to PBS so that they stop showing, the pledge drive and get back to his show, and then has to go on to an island to be a missionary to escape Elmo.
They're being chased by Oscar Grant. Pay us!
Yeah, because it's tough.
Elmo knows where you live.
Because the first 10 seasons are really good. So it's tough to pick one episode. Homer has tons of great moments, tons of great speeches. I really love, so I'll go with a little bit later episode to pick one out. The one where Homer starts smoking medicinal marijuana after his eyes get pecked out by birds. That one's pretty funny.
James Rice had a good one. Homer eating the same big sandwich for days straight. Marge, I'd like to be alone with the sandwich. Are you going to eat it?
When he gets food poisoning?
Yeah. Are you going to eat it? Yes.
I think my favorite line from The Simpsons was the one where Homer's like, "Oh, I have 3 kids and no money. Why can't I have no kids and 3 money?"
I have 2 other favorite lines of Homer's. First one, I can't remember the exact episode. I know it was the early season one. But he goes, "Bart, when I was a kid, I always wanted a catcher's mitt. So one day I decided to hold my breath until my dad gave me one, and then I passed out and hit my head on the coffee table. Dad, what's the point of the story? I like stories." And then the other one was, "Stealing? What were you thinking? What did we watch all those Police Academy movies for? Fun? Oh, sure, that one guy was all cool with the voices and the wee wee wee. What was I talking about again? Oh, yeah, stay out of my booze." Those are my 2 favorite Homer lines.
Think about it, though. We said the first 10 seasons of The Simpsons were really good. How many series are on for 10 seasons and have maybe 1 or 2 good seasons? And then The Simpsons gives us 10 solid good seasons.
Well, they had ups and downs throughout.
Oh yeah, they had ups and downs.
Since, the last 10 years has been really bad. Yeah, and it was pretty much ever since Family Guy came out. Because when Family Guy came out, it was they were competing with Family Guy, which was, it was just it was there were 2 different things. You should have not tried to go that route. Yeah. And there was episodes in those later seasons where they would never, ever do shows like this anytime in the first 20 years of The Simpsons, which not necessarily a bad thing, but then again, it's it just doesn't tonally fit in with the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Lokta says, "What do we think of the Buffy reboot?" I think it's great that the feminists and the people who morally grandstand and the people who tell us that just get over it, it's just a movie, it's just a comic book, it's just it doesn't matter, it's not for you. Well, now that they're screaming, "No, don't reboot Buffy, don't reboot!" Aha!
Do we get to call them racist?
Yeah,
feminist pigs.
Suck on it.
There'll be more about this tomorrow, because this gives me a perfect opportunity to say, I don't know if Rob's going to be able to make it, because normally it's your night off, but tomorrow night we got Ren and random game users are coming on for our first ladies' night on Midnight's Edge After Dark. So hopefully it'll be a continuing thing, but I'm just going to kick back and let the ladies kind of take over. And like I said, I don't know if Rob's going to be kicking back with me or not, but either way, so hopefully you guys join us for that's discussion, and that'll probably come up for sure. So the whole Buffy thing.
Yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right.
I may lurk in the comments for that one.
Oh, what a night. Sophisticated mama. So, anyway, now I need, who sang that? The Commodores? I have to pay them 3 cents royalties. So, angry Mr. Fibble. Anita Sarkeesian doesn't want a black Buffy. What a racist. Anita Sarkeesian's a hypocrite.
That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. It's like, excuse us? So finally something that you do give a shit about gets fucked with, and now you think you have the right to say something? Oh, no. You mean there's no such thing? What do you mean you can't make Buffy black? Why does she have to be white? You know, all these other arguments they're making, it's like, oh, so you're saying that there's no African-American Valley girls? Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds a little racist to me. You don't like something you like being fucked with? I'm sorry. It feels like shit, doesn't it? You know, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but you've done it to us how many fucking times now?
It's all well and good until you get to something that you like. That's what it's, yeah, Gradania says they never watch Buffy series. I watch it from time to time, but like I said, there's no need for this. And the fact that you're complaining. Oh, when it was all ours. Oh, toxic masculinity, toxic fandoms. Oh, get over it. It's just a kid's show. Oh, it's not for you anymore. Oh, now you complain. Really? Shoes on the other foot. Doesn't feel so good now. Ugh. I get exasperated. Jake, you have the floor.
Buffy was always one of those shows that people swore up and down was good, and I just never saw the appeal.
Yeah. Just read Midnight's Edge After Dark 2025 MASH reboot. No, let's not go there. You know what? Actually,
Only if you get to play Klinger.
Yes. There's people who complain that MASH is racist now. Oh, MASH is racist. Like, of course, it was the 1950s. It was the Korean War. You expected not to be racist?
Like, everything was racist before 1970.
Actually,
there was a
character in that probably, but still, yeah, it's like
in the movie and in the TV show. In the beginning of the TV show, there was a character named, what was his name, Tom?
In which show? Movie? Which one?
It was both.
Oh,
MASH
in Spear Chucker.
Spear Chucker Jones. Oliver Harmon Spear Chucker Jones. And it was played by a black guy. I think the same. I'm not sure if it's the same black guy from the beginning, from the movie or in the television show at the beginning. But the same.
Did they call him that on the TV show? I don't remember.
Yes.
Did they really?
They actually.
Wow.
Yes, they did. Oliver Spear Chucker. They actually had a call to the mess tent. Hawkeye was going to reveal a thief. With the following personnel, please report to the mess tent. Radar O'Reilly. Frank Burns, Spear Chucker Jones. Yes, and nobody said a word. Well, it was like I said, it's the 70s, but 1970. But
there's a different time, but that's not even the point exactly. As far as they're getting just as upset for the exact reasons that we weren't upset for the other stuff, and then some of the same reasons. So the hypocrisy is just insane, and the other half is more like, now do you finally understand? You know what I mean? It's like, because I heard, I don't know the whole story, but I know part of the argument was that Buffy can't be black or something like that because they were thinking of casting a black actress to play her because Buffy's supposed to be a rich white girl, and that's the whole point of the arc of her character and all that stuff. And that's where I said, what difference does it make? So he's trying to say that a black girl can't come from the valley? You know, that sounds kind of racist to me.
People were saying I was racist when I said a black guy couldn't be a Norse god, but...
Yeah.
Well, I've been to Sweden, I've been to Norway, and I've been to Denmark. I've been to three... Actually, I've also been to Finland. Been to Finland? Been to Finland. I've been to... I had a layover in Helsinki, but I've been to four out of 5 Nordic countries. Not a lot of black people there.
I will say this, though, when it comes to that character, which you're referring to Idris Elba, of course, and then with what's her face in Thor Ragnarok that Tessa Thompson plays. It doesn't matter. Those are fictional, mythological characters. You know, that part doesn't matter. If you're casting, you know, Peter Dinklage in blackface to play Martin Luther King, that's a little bit different. That's not going to fly.
Part of
I
it
get
too
that, but
was my reservations with that also happened before I knew they were going with the that. Thank God they undid this, but the "we're not gods, we're just sophisticated aliens" gimmick that was terrible and ruined the first two movies.
Yeah, but actually, I said it wouldn't be so bad with Tessa Thompson playing Valkyrie if she wasn't just such a god awful actress. I couldn't. She's terrible. Oh my god!
I guess I got a soft spot for her. I don't know why you don't like her, Rob, but okay.
She's not even that attractive.
I think she is. I guess I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of with you, Tom. I don't have a problem with her.
But the way she it looked like, it's just like she was just drinking just a drink for no other reason. Oh, she's drinking because she's in pain. Like, really, I couldn't tell.
So for the role she was playing, I thought she was perfect. I think where the problem will be with her is if they decide this is a character who can, you know, lead a franchise and a trilogy of movies. Unless they come up with something else, no. But for a bit player in, you know, Thor Ragnarok, she was perfect for what she was.
Well, I think the question's going to be asked like where she is during Avengers Infinity War. There's a lot of characters that we didn't see in Infinity War that probably will pop up in the next film. She might be one of them. I'd be all for like a girl team up movie with like her and say a couple other girls, you know, from the MCU or something. I'd have nothing against that. But yeah, as far as carrying a movie on her own, unless it's some kind of prequel with a bunch of the other Valkyries and whatnot, then yeah, I don't know about that.
They're gonna all female superhero team. They're called the TNA Force. It says they're gonna once a month when their cycles sync up, they're gonna be invincible. So anyway, bad,
Rob. Yeah. Now we're gonna have to put you in the woods for a while to hide you from the cops.
The shoe is on the other foot now.
But I'm waiting. But I'm waiting for people who say about how complaining about the Buffy reboot. Oh, but this is different. This is different. How is it different? You had a female character now. You're rebooting a favorite property of you and it was already progressive. It had LGBTQ XYZ characters or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it had white and it had white people working a menial. One white guy.
It had people that weren't even technically human.
Yeah. Yeah, it had a white guy working a menial job, a degrading menial job.
Shit.
I thought you moral grandstanders like that. So we have to degrade the white man. So, but anyway, but I guarantee you they're going to say this is different. This is different. This is different. Yeah, it's only different because it's something that you like. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's different because you like this. They got to something you like. This is the exact same thing that we complain about constantly. Doesn't matter if it's Buffy. Doesn't matter if it's Star Trek. Doesn't matter if it's Star Wars. Does it matter if it was Woody Woodpecker? So, anyway, more questions, guys.
Yeah.
There was actually, I think, a pretty interesting question a while back, but we were on a roll. It was actually for you, Rob, about getting into stand-up. What made you get into stand-up comedy? What's your act like?
Oh, jeez, my act is terrible.
No. That's why you won't record it for me.
No, what made me get into stand-up? Somebody actually, the first, and I actually told that story about me trying first stand-up attempt was at an open mic at an arts crowd thing. I had to open for interpretive dance. That was a disaster. But I was 23, first got on stage. It was just somebody asked me to do it. I was like, sure, why not? I'll give it a shot. And then I kept doing it. And my act is kind of weird. My act is I've been evolved. The act's kind of evolved more kind of like Dave Attell, where I talk a lot about things I'm really terrible at, like dating. And and one of my jokes says. like I said, it's about dating. And somebody called me once a conversational comedian. I don't know, but stand up is almost like you're having a one-sided conversation with your audience. It really is. So, what did you ask? How do you get into stand up?
No. Just how did you get into stand up, and what was your act? Like, I think it was Tyler who asked that. So if I'm butchering that question, Tyler, because I'm remembering it from like an hour ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, you have to suffer through in different crowds, no money, friends who swear they'll, when the worst part is bringers. Jake knows all about this. When they ask for bringers, bring 5 paying customers with you, and you send out like invites, or you ask 10 people. 5 will not even respond. Other 4 will say maybe. The one guy who said he will go usually smokes pot and falls asleep that night. Yeah, I was gonna go, but I smoked a bunch of pot and fell asleep. Like, yeah, just say you didn't want to go from the beginning, okay? Just spare me.
Fucking Godzilla was on TV, man. Give me a fucking break. I've told you that 6 times.
Yeah.
It ain't. I've lived nowhere near Rob. So
yeah, Captain April is right. A lot of open mics. You have to go to a lot of open mics. You have to go sign up, and usually the guy who's running it, he puts his friends on in the best spots, and you end up going on last at 12 in the morning, or 1 in the morning. The place is cleared out. And
my worst show ever. It was actually my second show. My second time doing stand-up comedy. The headliner on the show was Jessica Curson from Last Comic Standing, and I was going to be going on right before her. And the guy booking it had to switch it because she was ready to go on right then and there. And he put her in my spot. She went for like an hour when she was only supposed to do like 20 minutes. And then she left. Everybody followed her. And I had to do 5 minutes after the headliner with nobody in the room.
Oh, man.
The worst part is I got outside afterwards and she was just out there smoking a cigarette and talking to the entire crowd.
Who was the guy? Ben? Was it Ben Ortiz? The worst stand-up ever. Was that his name?
There's a lot of people who could be worst stand-up ever.
But there was Ben. But that guy used to go to every open mic. I think his name's Ben Ortiz. His whole thing was, I'm broke. I'm so broke I can't even dial 911. I'm broke. And he just kept going on about broke ass MySpace bitches. I'm like, there's no punchlines here. There's no fucking punchline. Like, Ben, write a full joke. And people just like putting him on stage just so that he would embarrass himself. And he thought he was I don't know if he thought he was a comedian or a rapper, by the way, because he did the thing where he holds the mic really up close to your face.
You ever do stand up, Tom?
I do in the shower. And I do when I'm cooking and doing the dishes. Oh, you mean like stand-up comedy? No. I guess you could say I've attempted it, but I was always more of a performance crowd where we would do like skits and stuff, so it was never anything on my own. I've helped Rob out a little bit, but...
Yeah, Tom's actually gotten some pretty good material. I gotten some pretty good material from Tom. Tom's got some good material. I've been saying he's got to find an open mic and try it out.
I would, but I tell Rob, it's like I don't have that pentameter or whatever you want to call it in my ability to kind of just tell a joke like a comedian does.
Just get really drunk before you go on stage. That's all you got to do.
That'd be a big mistake.
I mean, Mitch Hedberg didn't have that either, and he made it work for him.
True.
Yes, that's true.
I don't know. It's just my type of comedy. I don't know, because it's all over the place. I mean, the type of different shit that I've thrown at Rob, is even just. I don't know if it'd work for me or not. It worked more for Rob's type of sense of humor. I guess I'm better as like a writer in the background and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'd have to try it someday.
Yeah, Random Game User said, last time I did stand-up was Comedy Night, the video game. They said I was funnier than Amy Schumer. All my jokes are Amy Schumer basing jokes. Okay. Okay. Kim Bap or ask her, oh, Kimbap Tempura, chicks dig drunks. Yeah, they kind of do. That's one thing. A lot of my material is about dating because I'm so bad at it, and I've had some really terrible dates, and it's relatable. I don't know, Jake. Would you attest to this? That comedy, a lot of material is just about having material that audiences can relate to. Like, oh yeah, I've been in that situation. I know what that's like.
I think it has to be either that or just complete absurdity.
Yeah. The absurd, something absurd, but it seems like you said, something familiar, but then it goes off the rails.
Well, yeah, because you do have very few guys who have a true style. Like, where you can say that that's in the style of set comedian, like George Carlin or Robin Williams. Certain guys like that, you can't really emulate them, or people are just going to say you're ripping them off. As far as, like, finding your own thing, until then, like Gallagher, it's like, what else are you going to do? If you don't have a gimmick, you just got the normal type of observation comedy, which is what 90% of comedians do, up to the best, including, like Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle and stuff like that, as far as, like, the more modern comedians. There's a lot of new ones I don't really get into anymore. I know a lot of people like, what's his name? Iglesias, Fluffy.
Enrique Iglesias.
He's all right.
Not Enrique Iglesias. Enrique Iglesias?
That's the singer.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Gabriel. I was gonna say,
what's the difference?
I can be your hero, baby. Whatever. That's Enrique, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So no, and a lot of people are really like, who the top comedian right now is, right? Who makes the most money?
It's Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
I would say John Mulaney.
No, it's Jeff Dunham.
Oh, really?
It
like
is.
that's
Yes. Yep.
Like as far as
making the most money, most crowds, biggest comedian around right now. Yeah. Years ago, it was Jeff Foxworthy for a while. It's very odd, because it was like in the 80s we had this, in the late 70s and 80s we had this just renaissance of great comedians come out of every which place. And it just got real stale during the late 90s into the 2000s, to where there's only a few that stand out, and now it's the same thing. It's like very few really stick out to me anymore that aren't just a gimmick or something like that.
I think in the mid 2000s, early 2010s, we had a lot of really good comics under the radar, but now not so much. Like now, John Mulaney is pretty much the only guy I like right now.
Well, he's almost like a poor man's Jerry Seinfeld, really. John Mulaney, and I would call him. But the big problem is that a great example is, I keep saying about how, and I keep bringing this up. Nobody really does not that they don't do stand up, is that everybody's so offended by jokes, and like we got to we got to tiptoe around that, but. There's a lot of comedians, especially younger comedians. Oh, well, I'm tailoring my act for this crowd. I'm tailoring my act. Just do shit. Just go out and write material. Don't tailor it for a crowd. You'll find your crowd. I mean, you're trying to find your crowd. Like, no, you don't try to find your crowd. The crowd finds you.
Yeah, you bomb until you find a group of people.
And don't get me wrong, there are people out there, and there have been people out there. I didn't mean to make it sound like there wasn't, but I mean, I could name 24 comedians from the 70s and 80s, and I could maybe name a handful from the 90s on, maybe into the early 2000s, if that, but still.
And like I said, the best example of how comedy has suffered today, and people are gonna disagree with me, about this, is Trevor Noah. He's the best example of how bad comedy's got, and he gets a free pass just because he's from South Africa, and he's like a comedy unicorn.
Well, you have another problem. What? 99% of all the comedy, like you take all the Showtime, HBO, stand-up comedy series, and any of the theatrical, like Raw, Eddie Murphy Raw, any of that stuff would never get made now. None of it. Not a single one of it, because there's way too much stuff in there that's gonna offend somebody.
Yeah.
And you have a problem where that's why, like, Mel Brooks and those guys kind of said, we just kind of quit doing it because you couldn't do anything anymore without offending somebody.
Yeah. one of the things, like I said, and random game user says she's watched more stand comedy in her life. Trevor Noah sucks. I'm like, yeah, you got that right. One of the things I've noticed is that there's a lot of people who are doing really specific material, and he does a lot of that. Where that if you don't understand what he's talking about, you're not gonna understand it. He did a whole bit about food trucks, and I'm like, this isn't funny. Like, he did, and his material is dated. He did the same age jokes that Eddie Murphy was doing in the 80s. He did the most recent reference he did was hip hop in the 90s, and that's a Chris Rock bit. And I'm like, and the people who like, oh, you don't understand him. You just don't understand him. I'm like, no, I understand him. He's really, and he does a whole thing about South Africa, and the people who like him said, well, you really should find out about that to understand what he's. I'm like, no, you don't give the audience homework. You're not supposed to give the audience homework. You're supposed to be able to relate. There's certain things people can relate to. You can relate to being in line at the airport. You can relate to bad dates. You can relate to going out to dinner. You can relate to whatever. Unless you're from Amsterdam, I can't relate to the Netherlands, going to a soccer game in the Netherlands or whatever it is. You lose most of the audience by getting that specific. And he gets a free pass on a lot of shit just because we're multiculturalism, diversity, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, you don't he's not funny. That's it. And it's like, oh, how can you say he's not funny? Easy, watch, I'll say it again. He's not funny. Okay.
Well, and somebody brought up Bill Cosby himself, and it's like, that's Bill Cosby's one of the few where you could still do his act to this day,
yeah.
But unfortunately, him being
Carlos Mencia does
a rapist kind of fucked that up.
You got the sneaking at the roofie and you put it in the Jello pudding, and then you get to drink it and the giggity googity googity giggity.
Careful now, somebody's gonna say we're making fun of rape. Just because old Bill was putting his pudding pop where it don't belong. But anyway,
gotta get yourself a spoon and get some Jello pudding. So. Yeah. Well, you can think a guy's a scumbag and still think he's a great comedian. I mean,
well, it's funny because we did bring him up earlier because the other night Rob misspoke and had not realized or forgot that Cosby had been convicted or whatever, and I was going to correct him in the show, but the point had passed so fast that I didn't have a chance. So no, we were not sticking up for Bill Cosby in any way. But as Rob was going to say, it's his material is one thing. I don't know. It still doesn't change the fact that the material was funny, but what he did in real life wasn't funny. So there you go. That's the best way you can put it.
Yeah. You can separate the man from what he's done and what in his professional life. I mean, geez, it's not unheard of. I mean, yeah. So anyway, that's really all I want to say about that. But like I said, the whole thing, like I said, millennial humor is destroying stand-up. It really is. I mean, you got to think about it. Kids these days are too busy looking on their phones. It's not that you're trying to get. What am I going to do?
My kid thinks that. I don't know what my kid thinks is funny now. Am I? Sure, my kid's a little older, but he's autistic, so he has probably the functioning brain of say like a 6 or 7 year old. If it's a fart joke, if it's a quick swear word, if it's these goofy try and make you laugh videos on YouTube, that's the kind of crap he's into.
Yeah.
Going to the store, that one weird anime or CGI animated guy going to the store with that kind of crap. That's what kids think is funny now. Just nonsensical stuff with no context usually. I mean, I'm not saying some of it isn't kind of worth a giggle here or there, but I listen to some of the stuff my kid listens to and thinks is funny. It's like, how do you think that's funny? It's just people screaming and hollering and making just nonsensical, jokes here and there, I guess you could call them. But, it's like, I don't get it.
We've also we're in a weird phase where there's a lot of celebrities who are getting into stand-up who aren't stand-up comics, and they have an act that's kind of like stand-up, but it's not quite. Like Nick Swardson, not Nick Swardson, Nick Offerman. Nick Swardson's actually a legit comic. Nick Offerman, Kristen Schaal, these people who...
Kristen Schaal is terrible.
Yeah, like they do these weird shows that are like stand-up, but they're not stand-up. Even Mark Maron is stand-up, but he kind of dabbles in that a little bit, though I think he is kind of decent.
I'll tell you this right now, some of this compared to some of the stuff I've seen now, and I don't care how much Rob hates me for saying this, a lot of the stand-up Pauly Shore did was funnier than some of the shit we've heard now. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard Pauly Shore stand-up. It's different than what he did with the whole, his movie career and the VJ thing. His stand-up is a little bit more adult-oriented, in quotations. But, yeah, I can remember some of his jokes, and they're funnier than some of the shit I've seen. I'm sorry.
And there's a lot of people though who think that throwing out a swear word is a punchline. And Eddie Murphy actually did a bit about that in Raw. I don't just do the
yeah.
I don't just do the curse show. It's not. I don't come out here and just say, "Hey, how you doing? Phil Florin, pussy, dick, shit, tits, and snot. Good night. Good night. Suck my dick. Good night." There's jokes. There's jokes in there. So it's not just the curse show because I wouldn't have gotten as far as I did if I just was cursing. So yeah. It's just like if I walk out on the stage and say, "Hey, how you doing? Go fuck yourself. Good night." It's not gonna fly. And there's a lot of people who do think that is a
that shock humor stuff. Yeah, the edgy shit that kind of gets us back to crap we didn't really want to talk about, but still, that's the point. It's like you either just go out there and you say edgy shit to be edgy, or you can make the argument like the guys at South Park and anybody else's. Doesn't matter as long as the context is there. You can make any subject funny. Any subject. Doesn't matter what it is. So
like Sam Kinison, he did there's a bit Sam Kinison did about that. There's this thing about a guy who worked in the morgue, and he would. I don't want you go find the bit. You can Sam Kinison morgue. And his friend thought it was just too horrific to make a do a bit about it, and Sam said, "Give the story to me," and so Sam turned it into a bit. And it's just you feel bad for laughing, but it's funny. And Sam pulled it off. So yeah.
Well, Kinnison's one of those who wouldn't fly nowadays.
No.
He'd be coming out there and he'd be just like, "I can't do this." You do a better Kinnison than I do. Can't do this show.
I can't do the show. I can't do this. I can't do it. But
I think that's the first time I've heard your Kinnison, and it's really good.
He does a really good Kinnison.
Sometimes I like doing the quiet Sam. The quiet Sam who was just a little bit more restrained. Sam just then Jessica Hahn would come in the room and then he'd get riled up. But Sam. But a lot of kids don't. A lot of kids these days don't. All it is screaming. All it is screaming. Like no. There's good jokes in there. About a lot of stuff. But.
Sam had some wonderful bits. And the joke, I think that's the one that they mentioned in the chat, the gay necrophiliac joke.
Yes. Sam said, "Give the story to me." And the guy's lying there, "Well, life was hard, but now I'm dead now. I get to go be with Jesus now. Hey, what's this? Oh no, life keeps fucking yes, even when you're dead." So, But Sam had like I said, Sam was a lot of people. Sam was actually really, really, really intelligent guy, and he was a Pentecostal preacher, so he brought a lot of that fire and brimstone.
Right. Well, that's somebody. If you kids don't know who he is, definitely check him out. He's worth your while.
Like I said, Sam Kinison, Married with Children episode was the best. Yes, it was actually. I saw it. I was up. I woke up early one morning.
What's funny is both him and Bobcat were on Married with Children, which is funny as shit.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep, and I was at 5 a.m. I turned it on, and that was on. I'm looking for a guy named Al Bundy.
He did throw out a guy who had a Andrew Dice Clay shirt on at one of his shows. Yes, that's true. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking for a guy named Al Bundy. I'm Al Bundy. No, will you guys stop playing Nintendo up there for a minute? Sam was the best. Sam. I was lucky enough to see Sam about a year before he died, so that was great. That kind of made me say I want to do this. And then 6 months later, I saw Rodney. I saw Rodney. Rodney was great. Rodney only did maybe about 30, 35 minutes, but he gave away his tie at the end. I'm going to give away
Rodney had to do.
Oh yeah.
I have a question for you, Rob.
Go ahead.
Why don't you do impressions as a part of your stand-up act?
It's hard for me to work them in. Really is hard for me to work them in. Yeah.
We'll find a way.
I can help you with that. I have a few in some of my act where I force in impressions. I can definitely help you with that.
See, that's something I wouldn't be able to do. I got is like a Schwarzenegger and my George Lucas.
I did do an Obama impression recently. Look, I'm not up here to degrade the white man, okay? People, I want to just say right now, fuck all y'all. Yeah, that's right, I said it. So, but anyway, I
heard a little Gene Simmons in that.
This is Gene Simmons. This is Gene Simmons of Kiss. Kiss invented everything. Yes, this is Gene Simmons of Kiss. Kiss invented the military, the Kiss Army. Yes. This is Gene Simmons. I have a 13-inch tongue. You want to see it? Yes, I know you do. Because I'm Gene Simmons of Kiss. I dated Cher back before all that plastic. Now she's a Barbie doll, not the good kind of Barbie doll. It's more plastic than a box of Legos in that ass now. Because I'm Gene Simmons of Kiss. Yes. So anyway, so Gene Simmons of Kiss. So that's all he had to say. Greg Gast used to do a great Gene Simmons.
Greg Gast. Craig Gast did it for Gene Simmons. I think that's the craziest thing.
This is Gene Simmons of Kiss. So I can't think of other good impressions I do. I do a good like I said, I do Sam. I used to do a good one. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, you're Rod.
Hey, how you doing out there? Hey, how you doing out there? Hey, fellas, how you going?
I can do Beavis okay, but I don't think my butthead's okay.
I never change. No, I never change. I never change in front of guys. Before you know, you're showering with them. Then before you know, you've been to a sophomore named Chip. Hey,
see,
Wang,
you couldn't do that joke now.
No. Hey, Wang, what are you doing taking pictures? This is a parking lot. All right, Wang. I think this place is restricted, so don't tell him you're Jewish. So.
One of my favorite bits I do to toot my own horn is I have a bit where I talk about my funeral and saving up all my life insurance money and sending it to Ian McKellen and just have him do my eulogy by reciting sexually suggestive rap lyrics. So just, my milkshake brings all the boys to life, and they're like, it's better than yours. You're damn right. It's better than yours.
Yeah.
I would teach you.
Yeah.
But I have to charge.
You did a great remember we did on that one thing we did at the Lord of the Rings DC Universe crossover. Ian McKellen, Gandalf, Superman. You become a conjurer of cheap tricks. You shall not pass. So, but there was some Evil Dave just died on the Howard Stern show. Evil Dave Letterman. I can't do Letterman. I can't do a Letterman impression. I'd have to listen to it. I have to try. I always work them out for. I can't think of other impressions I do. Someone. I do a very good Bernie Sanders because we have huge problems now in the world today. Right now, I'd like to tell you, Jake Bentley, that your children won't have to worry. They'll have debt-free college. Okay?
Listen, it doesn't make any sense. You know what our children are going to have? They're going to have a wall. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. And China's going to build it for us.
China's going to build the wall. He's going to build... Hey, he knows better than what Trump did what? Hey, who knows better? Like I said... This is Rachel Maddow. I don't know. I can't really do Rachel Maddow. So 99 people enduring this, watching now.
We've only lost one since the last time you checked, I guess.
I used to do Howard Cosell. I used to do Howard Cosell. A lot of kids don't know.
Everybody does that one, though.
Yeah. Howard would do this. Howard would do this thing where who thinks Jay Leno is a great comedian? Jay Leno is a very good. Who thinks I'm a great comedian? I'm a pretty good comedian. I
can't really.
I'll do anything NBC says. But I used to do a Howard Cosell. Howard used to do this thing where he would start out very loud, then he would bring it down. He would go up and down. Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed one of the greatest boxing match of all time. Right here, Miami Beach. Not since 1964 have we seen a performance like this we have witnessed. So,
Here's one for random. I gotta
Okay.
turn my mic down a little bit here. Gene made a machine. Joe made it go. Art blew off heart and blew the whole damn thing apart. There you go. That's about the best I can do.
Kim Bob Tempura asks, "Can I do Woody Allen?"
I think everybody can do Woody
Oh,
Allen.
everybody says, "I best
And I
way
won't
I
even do
could
the
do,
punchline to that joke.
yeah, best way I could do it is, I was home one night. I get a call. They wanted me to be this year's vodka man. You know, they asked Noel Coward, Howie Loki, and they got to me. It was a prestige ad, and they said, "How would you like to be this year's vodka man?" I said, "No, I don't panda. I don't drink vodka, and if I did, I wouldn't drink your product." They said, "That's too bad because it pays $10,000." I said, "Hold on, I'll put Mr. Allen on the phone." So, but yeah, I actually, if you ever, there's actually some of Woody Allen's stand-up bits are actually on YouTube. He has this great bit about how he's going to a costume party in the South, dressed as a ghost. And all of a sudden, the car pulls up. About 10 guys, all dressed as ghosts. I figured, oh, they're going to the same party too. And then we go in the woods, and they find out who I am, and they're ready to hang me. And I said, "Fellas, this country will not survive if we don't learn to love each other and respect each other and put our differences aside." And they were so impressed by my speech. Not only did they let me go, but I also sold them $2,000 worth of Israel bonds. So, yeah. So anyway, my Woody needs a little work. So, yeah. All right.
I think we're starting to burn people out on the impression.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We lost four more. Okay. Well, anyway, a couple. Jake, come up with a number. 1 to 10.
7.
Okay.
Everyone
7.
picked 7. So 7.
7 more questions, guys. Okay.
Oh, wow. Drunk motherfuckers out there. Holy shit. One more questions.
7 more questions. Okay. Can you do Winnie the Pooh? That's perverted. No, I can't. I haven't worked on Winnie the Pooh. Should we count that as one question?
Maybe.
Yeah, let's count that as a question.
Okay, we count that as a question. 7 questions. Hey, Rob, can you do a Vince Scully impersonation?
Oh, never. I guess people weren't burned out on the impression.
The 2-1. Just a bit outside. Today's game brought to you by Rheingold Beer. Oh, that's Sandy Koufax and wind it up and warm it up in the bullpen. But today's game brought, it's Vince Scully. Vince Scully here, Mel Allen. You guys are too young for Mel Allen. How about that? Did you guys watch Kids in the Hall?
Yes, we did. We were actually just talking about that.
We were talking about that actually.
Just before the show.
I used to like.
That's weird.
I know how to play the surf rock theme from the beginning on a guitar. Actually, it's been years since I played it, but I used to play that quite a bit. I've been to Toronto too. Actually, it's a very nice city.
What's your favorite Kids in the Hall skit?
I squish your heads.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I think
I squish your head.
Nerd War, Star Wars, or Star Trek. It's a push. No.
Squish your head, Spider Geronimo.
Dead School, favorite superhero. Come on, you gotta give us better questions than these. Mine's Daredevil.
Yeah,
Jake?
we've said these already a couple times. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, Thor and Doom.
So...
Thor and Doom are neck and neck for me.
I've said mine a couple times. Superman, Batman, Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Did you guys watch Almost Live? No, I did not.
I don't think so.
All right, guys, we're closing in. We got a couple more questions. Make them good ones.
I'll ask you, Rob, have you ever kissed a girl, and if so, did you like it?
Ooh, I've kissed a girl and I liked it. Yes, many times. Many times. I'm not that big a loser, Jake. A Tank Girl. Okay. Tank Girl ready for reboot in film form.
I
yes.
think they were talking about it.
They were talking about a new Tank Girl.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Favorite British sitcom. Mine probably be The In-Betweeners.
I guess Monty Python doesn't count as a sitcom necessarily, does it? That'd be
a sketch show.
Yeah. No.
I'm going to go with a newer one, and I'm going to say The IT Crowd.
Okay.
Would some of the HBO ones with Ricky Gervais count since they were technically made for the BBC first?
Okay.
Because those were good. All of his.
The Office?
Well, not The Office, but no, like he did like Extras and what was the one he just did like with Netflix too? I think that was on BBC over there. I can't remember, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. We had Kathy Winnick is a better Captain Marvel. Yeah,
yes.
Oh God, yes. I would have loved Yvonne Strahovski.
Space was good, yeah.
Okay, and the final question of the night.
You counted already?
Yes, this is number 7. The final question of the night. After tonight, is Jake going back into the shack from Slithering Peanut?
I don't know. What do you
don't
think?
know.
Should we put him back in the shack or should we let him go? Do you think he'll come back?
Yeah, he might. Yeah.
Do you think he'll narc us out?
No, he doesn't. He knows what's good for him.
It's like they say, if you love something, let it free.
Is it like, what is it, Munchausen syndrome or no? That's the kid thing. What is it?
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm. Thank you. Is it like that to where you won't want to leave now that we let you free? You'll be like, no, I'll just stay here.
Maybe.
just give me a TV.
Hey, I've actually been to Stockholm, and I'll be damned if they have a cure for it. You know, no cure. I thought for sure they'd have a cure for Stockholm syndrome there. So of all places, you think it's got the disease name in it. Come on, that's like Lou Gehrig's disease. Hey Lou, watch out! There's a disease out there with your name on it.
All right. Well, we got to give Rob a history lesson, guys. So.
Okay, guys, it looks like that's going to be it for tonight. We'd like to thank Jake the Snake Rampage Bentley for joining us.
And we'll hopefully have him back again real soon.
Yes.
Yeah, Jake, I got nothing better to do. Pleasure as always, guys.
Yeah, it's not like you got a wife or kids or anything. Jeez. I'd like to thank Tom Connors. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us, for your questions, for putting up with my impressions that you seem to like, but I get the sense that you're really lying. And as always, Jake, you got any stand-up gigs coming lately?
Not lately. With number 2 on the way, I'm kind of in a lull right now.
You got to go to the bathroom for that long?
Yeah,
oh, you mean the kid. Never mind.
Yeah. So anyway, Tom, tell us what we got coming up tomorrow. The special.
Yes. Ladies' night. I don't know if Rob's going to be able to be back in time or around to join us, but it'll be mostly the ladies anyway. So we got Random Game User 42 joining us and Ren from Ren Rants, and they're going to talk all kinds of nerdy geek girl topics that we should probably just shut our mouths about, and we'll see what they have to say about all this Buffy stuff and She-Ra and so much more. So,
giggity.
Join us tomorrow for that at 9/8 Central here on Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Yes, and as always, if you like what we do here, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you're notified of all the latest content. Head over to the main channel, Midnight's Edge. Click the subscribe button. Bring the bell icon over there. Check us out on Patreon. People on Patreon get all kinds of neat bonuses, don't they? Don't they, Tom?
Don't patronize me. Oh, you mean Patreon. Patreon, my bad.
Yes.
Patreon. Yeah, I guess there's some good stuff over there. There's Beyond the Edge, which is Andre's telling the story of how Midnight's Edge came to be, and kind of like a book on tape type form thing in chapters. But yeah, he's got another one of those coming real soon. You get to see early stuff. You get to see clips of early stuff. Sometimes you get the early versions. You always get the Trek animation first, which hopefully we'll have some of that real soon. I know some people like Jerry, was it Jerry Reed? Yeah, I think you were asking about it earlier. So yeah,
Jerry Reed's the guy in Smokey and the Bandit.
Or what the hell's
Chess Reed?
Chess Reed. My bad. I like Jerry Reed.
This is a snowman kicking back.
It's a snowman.
Snowman. Yeah, check out the Catherine Abel. Check out the latest Why We Fight.
Sorry.
Jerry Reed was cool. Yeah, Jerry Reed was cool.
He's
yeah,
a hell of a musician. I think he wrote like 250 songs or something like that.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah.
So anyway, check us out over on Patreon, and I always say you can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. And if you don't have the means to support us on Patreon, click the bell icon, subscribe, share with your friends, because as always, we cannot do this without you. So one more time, I'm Mr. Rob Robot Shlomo.
I owe Jess Reed an apology.
And I'll apologize too. Why not?
It's the apology tour.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, and we will catch you all next time.
Thank you so much.